A neuroscientist at Oxford named Masood Hussain put people in a scanner, handed them a hand-grip device, and asked them to squeeze it for cash. Nothing complicated. Squeeze harder, earn more. But the part that mattered wasn't the squeezing. It was the 4 seconds right before it, the window where Hussain's team watched the brain quietly run the numbers on whether the reward was even worth the effort. That 4-second window sits in a region called the anterior cingulate cortex, tucked behind your forehead, and it works like a tiny auction house. Dopamine walks in holding the reward side of the ledger. The anterior cingulate holds the cost side. In healthy brains, the two sides haggle fast, and most of the time reward wins by a hair. But Hussain found that in people struggling with apathy, low mood, or chronic procrastination, that auction gets rigged from the start. The cost side shouts louder before the reward side even gets a word in. Here's the part that should unsettle you. You don't experience this auction happening. You just experience the outcome as a feeling, a flat, heavy sense of I don't feel like it. Hussain's subjects weren't lazy, and they weren't lying about their motivation. Their brains had already run the 4-second calculation and quietly voted no, milliseconds before their conscious mind got the memo. We post one of these breakdowns every single day, so if hidden brain circuits like this one grab you, subscribe now so tomorrow's doesn't slip past you. Here's the pattern interrupt Hussain's later work points to. The auction isn't judging the whole task. It's judging only the very next physical action, the first 2 or 3 seconds of movement. That means the 4-second vote isn't asking should I write this report, it's asking should I move my hand toward the keyboard right now. Shrink that first action down to something almost weightless, opening the document instead of writing the report, and the cost side of the ledger has nothing left to object to. The reward side wins the auction by default, and momentum does the rest. Before we close this one out, tap that like button so we know to keep digging into studies like Hussain's, the ones nobody's turning into an actual protocol you can use tonight. Hussain's team is now testing whether deliberately shrinking that first action can be trained like a habit, essentially teaching a sluggish auction house to rule faster and kinder. Early data out of Oxford suggests it can, in as little as 4 seconds. So the next time you feel that flat, don't feel like it wall. Remember, it isn't the whole task talking. It's a 4-second auction, and you now know exactly how to rig it. Hit the bell so this lands in your feed tomorrow, when we open up the reward side of that same ledger, and what happens when dopamine stops showing up at all.